can you train yourself boxing at home? I'm Nate Bauer, a former competitive fighter, personal trainer, and one-on-one coach. I've competed in boxing and hold a 90% knockout win ratio with only 4 losses in my career. My coach is a former Olympic fighter. Let's jump right into today's video. In today's video, we'll answer the question, how can you learn to fight? How can I learn to fight? Today, let's explore the world of home boxing training to arm you with valuable information and techniques. In fact, we're gonna go through the exact routine I used for boxing training for years during my competitive boxing career. I'll show you the complete program a little bit later in the video. Training at home doesn't mean compromising on technique or effectiveness. It's all about understanding the fundamentals and using the right training methods, which I'm going to show you in today's video. Here's how you should warm up. 3 options. You can skip for 5 to 30 minutes. You can do a light run or dynamic movements like arm crossovers, wrist movements to warm up the wrist joints, and a full body movement like jumping jacks. You can use any of these to get the body warm before going through today's workout. Let's review your boxing stance. First off, remember this, learning footwork before your punches will set you up for success faster, so be patient. Also, movement and balance are the key component to successful workouts. You need to be balanced to throw better punches. You need to have control to understand how to work with both your hands and your feet. Now, throughout your footwork piece, I want you to think in 3 different patterns: back and forth, side to side, and changing angles. Once you're comfortable, add in a bounce and defense. So again, in and out, side to side, changing angles. Let's get you strong and balanced so you can throw perfect punches. I'm a right-handed fighter. So what you do is if you're right-handed and a right foot individual, take that dominant foot and step behind you. If you're left-handed, you would be in a southpaw stance. Take that foot and step behind you. That's your stance. This becomes your jab hand if you're in this position. And for an orthodox fighter, this becomes your jab hand. The punch you use a lot, okay? In your boxing stance, as a right-handed fighter, we're doing orthodox, get back into the stance this way. If you're unsure of how far you should be standing, think of closing your eyes, coming back and stand with your eyes closed, and typically you'll nail that. Now your front foot is at 1 o'clock, your back foot is at 2 or 3 o'clock. You don't want to be really tall, you don't want to be super low. You want to think of having a little bit of flex in your knees. That's your boxing stance, all right? When we're talking about movement, you want to be very particular in the movement pattern. When you move forward, you want to push off your back foot, your front foot goes first. When you're moving to your back side, you push off your lead foot, your back foot goes first. When you're pushing to your left side or moving to your lead side, push off your right foot and your left foot goes first, and the same goes to your right side here. When we're working pivots, you want to turn on a 45-degree angle to change your direction with your hands in position. Don't overthink it. Don't move your feet too fast. Think about being controlled. If you feel like your feet are crossing over, there's a line that goes right down the middle of your body to the floor. Keep your feet on each side of that line. If you feel like you don't have any power or you're too tall, just drop a little bit in your stance. That's your boxing footwork. Let's practice. Move forward, move back, move left, move right, pivot, 45 degrees, pivot, 45 degrees, pivot, 45 degrees, okay? That is your basic boxing footwork. Now, punches. Now that you know how to move and stand, let's throw some hands with punches 1 to 6. Do this over and over so you absolutely nail it every single time you do your boxing workout at home. Put that dominant foot behind you. Make sure you can see those thumbs in your vision. Your jab is gonna come from that lead side. This is the punch you throw the most often, so it's gotta be thrown properly. Make sure you can see it in front of your own chin when you throw it. You don't want to over rotate your front hip. Instead, take a small step, okay? Your right hand, the number 2, comes from here with a slight rotation from the hip. Again, when you throw this punch, make sure you can see it in front of your own chin while this hand stays up here to the side of your jaw. Bring it back. Your number 3 is called the lead hook. Coming off that lead side, thumbs to the ceiling. You want to make sure this shoulder is not too high, so keep that shoulder blade down, and you want to bring it to your opposite side, your right side, forearm. That's the level, so to practice it, you just bring it across with a slight hip rotation. so you can throw something off of that in a rhythmic pattern. That's the 3, that's the 2, that's the lead hook, that's the cross, okay? The number 4 is that rear hook right here, that nice strong punch that comes from the back side. And again, you wanna throw that in a nice strong position coming across, middle knuckles in line with your forearm. The number 5 is a lead uppercut, vertical forearm to the inside of your chest. Rear uppercut is the number 6, and that's also coming from that rear side on the inside of the chest. Lead punches are odd numbers, rear punches are even numbers. So it'll be a jab, cross would be a 1-2, a 3 would be a lead hook, a 4 is a rear hook, and that lead uppercut's a 5, and that rear uppercut is a 6. Let me show you an example. If I say throw a 1-2, step left, step right, 2-1, step forward, step back, 3-2, step left, step right. Now 1-2, 3-2, jab, cross, hook, cross, pivot, pivot. That's how easy it is to practice your boxing. Now let's go through your shadow boxing routine. Now get your timer ready, get your phone set up. We're gonna do that for 2 minutes for the first 90 days. And then once you're used to the boxing flow, you wanna do 3-minute rounds once you feel it. In round number 1, you're gonna work off the 1-2. That's the jab, cross, in and out to find range. Again, you're gonna work that for a 2-minute round. Remember, the key to success is to visualize working against an opponent. This means working inside and outside ranges, offense and defense. Remember, you're a boxer, so you have to teach yourself to think like one. Round number 2, you're gonna work off the 1-2-3. That's a jab, cross, lead hook, and add in lateral movement. That's important for you to, again, to work on moving side to side. You'll be more confident that way, and you're actually doing boxing movement patterns. Round number 3, you're gonna work off the 1 and add in the 5-6, or simply work in any combo you want. Add in your lateral movement, add in your flow state, and just get used to throwing that combination in an easy formula to follow. That's how you start to utilize boxing. Now remember, you can use this boxing routine daily to train yourself boxing at home. Remember, this is what I used every day, the same type of workout for my entire boxing career. Shadow boxing, round number 1, working off the jab, cross, in and out. Let's work nice and slow. Then you can start here, stepping in and out. The 1-2 is the jab, cross. We're doing a 2-minute round. Now step with the 1-2. 1 step back. 1 step back. Nice and easy. Remember, the front foot goes first. When you're stepping backwards, the back foot goes first. Maybe you want to think about throwing this against an opponent, so it's a little bit of slipping, hands up movement. Yeah, when you're moving in and out, you can step as fast as you want, but make sure when your feet come back, they're not coming too close together. Think about that jab, cross coming out at a nice straight line with control. Everything comes down to your ability to control your hands and footwork together to get the most out of your shadow boxing, especially when you're learning to fight at home. Punching that straight line, keep your hands up to your chin and to your nose level, and always imagine you're hitting your opponent straight in the chin when you're throwing those headshots. Remember, this boxing routine you can do every single day. And when you feel like you're better and you go to those 3-minute rounds, I want you to throw, double up your punches, and then move a little bit faster. Then throw punches in, then throw punches back. Changing your angles. Working your way in, working your way out. Figuring out range. See your opponent's chin and aim for that. Three, 2, 1. Now you're gonna set your timer for 30 seconds and rest between round 1 and 2. Good work. Round number 2, you're gonna throw the jab, the cross, the lead hook, and then you work more lateral movement. Remember, just try to work one step to the side, that's enough. Again, as you go through this routine to get better, you can add more flavor. Let's go, 2 minutes. Jab, cross, lead hook, work a lateral step. Start this slow to begin and work off that. Hand position with lateral steps, but not like this. Remember, just change the angle a little bit. Working 2-minute rounds. And then once you get more comfortable, add in more defense, little faster steps.
The key to the 1, 2, 3 is to throw it in a nice smooth rhythm. When you're throwing it, make sure that there's some strong energy in that lead hook. And if you're moving to your lead side especially, make sure that hook stays nice and high to block a shot coming in.
In between. Like that. Now, if your feet feel like they're coming too close together, you want to lower your base a little bit so it's harder for you to bring your foot over. Keep that foot position the same width so you become reactive and you can do more. Remember, boxing is all about reps. Good work. Round number 2 is done. Set your timer for 30 seconds. Let's get into your 3rd round. Round number 3, you're gonna work the jab and then 2 uppercuts, but your 2 uppercuts can be in any pattern. Or just get used to throwing them from the inside of the body off the jab. Again, you can do lateral, forward, back movement. Just be confident here. Ready? Let's go. Throw off the jab. Remember, you throw this punch the most, so you have to understand that you throw it, you have to practice with this punch often because this is your whiskers. This is how you feel at your opponent. And when you're throwing this uppercut, if you're throwing it here, it's inside. And if you're throwing it here, it's outside. So your jab tells you what you have to do. So if you're not close to your opponent, there's no point throwing uppercuts on the inside. If you're outside with your opponent, you need to throw those uppercuts longer. So keep that in mind with your shadow box. Remember, we're visualizing. Inside. Outside. Make movement. Keep your feet in that nice wide stance. Balance.
Throwing the uppercut off the jab, you can move with that. You can move forward, you can move back, you can even work it off an angle. The key is to be relaxed and confident when you throw it. Make sure you flex your hand all the way just before you make contact. That's the jab, lead, or rear uppercut. Control, consistency, that's the name of the game.
Notice the breathing. When you do that, that gives you more relaxation in your punches so that you don't get burnt out easy. It's telling your muscles to be effective, but to not tighten up. So that's why boxers breathe so loud. Now, if you want to visualize throwing a jab and working an angle, when you're visualizing that counter shot, you dip and throw that lead uppercut from your lead side. And the same with your rear uppercut, but you got to step with it and throw it on a different angle. So you can do that too. See, that would be more of an inside combination. When you're learning how to fight, every component of your home boxing workout has a conditioning aspect. Treat each area as a workout that takes effort and concentration. Remember guys, it doesn't have to be perfect to be effective. Now, next up is 5 rounds on the heavy bag. This heavy bag right here is 150 pounds. It's a great way for me to throw hard shots into the heavy bag with complete control. If you don't have a heavy bag, add in 1 minute of skipping, 1 minute of shadow boxing, and that's considered 1 round. Boxing gloves are essential for protecting your hands during training on the punching bag. They come in different sizes and weights depending on your training goals and personal preference, from 10, 12, 14, 16 ounces. So make sure you choose the right pair. Remember, wrapping your wrists help stabilize your joints and reduce the risk of injury. Remember, if your hands are injured, you can't fight. Now, set your timer for 3 minutes and let's work. Round 1, work off the jab, then throw 2 straight punches after the jab. Round number 2, work off the jab, jab, cross, the 1-1-2. Follow that up with 2 straight punches and continue to work. Round number 3, work off the jab, cross, lead, hook, defend. And then round number 4, work 3 punch combinations. Or round number 5, work sets of 2, 3, and 4 punch combinations for your punches and bunches. Heavy bag round 1, you're gonna throw a jab and then 2 straight punches. This is for you to practice range because you don't want to be too close to the heavy bag and you don't want to be too far. So when you're doing this, think that you are working range to hit your opponent coming in. So if the heavy bag comes towards you, time it so it's at the end of your punches. It's just basic movement. And you can switch up which hands goes first. Any straight punch. Basic movement. Again, throw that jab to find your distance, to find your range. This is work. Just because it's basic doesn't mean it's not easy and not hard. Remember, when you're working the heavy bag in your rounds, you can make it as hard or as easy as you want. Easy looks like this. But that's still working on great timing and distance control and contact. So you're hitting the bag flush. Working on your hands coming back to your jaw. Not messing up your footwork by taking too many steps. And a little harder would be more like this. Again, notice I'm not bringing my feet really close together. I'm not standing up super tall. I'm having fun with it. Focusing on the task at hand. Breathing. Moving. Just a little bit. Focused. And again, body is here. At your own solar plex level. That's round number 1 of your heavy bag. Now round number 2, you should be a little bit tired. Now again, set your timer for 30-second rest before you go into round number 2. for 2 minutes, or 3 minutes if you're really eager. But again, a controlled 2 minutes will get you there better. You're gonna throw a 1, 1, 2, a jab, jab, cross, cross, and then 2 or 3 straight punches. Remember, when you get in trouble or you need to set up combinations, the jab, jab, cross is one of the best combinations to do that. So it's important for you to work on. Let's go. Again, this is not as easy as it looks, you guys. You want to look at that divot on the heavy bag and hit that divot every time. Follow it around. 2 or 3 straight punches. Basic footwork. If you want to pick up the speed, like that. One point I want you guys to focus on in the beginning is when you're throwing your double jab, again, don't do this. That takes too long and it puts you out of position. It turns your head away from your opponent if you twist your hip too much with your jab. You don't need to twist it, step with it. Okay, so your head stays forward. And also when you're working this double jab, I want you to bring it all the way back, not this. That's a bad habit to get into because that second jab, somebody can hit it away from you. It's important. 1, 1, 2, and then bring those hands back and throw those other shots. Let's go.
Throw that double jab with the consistency. You don't have to throw it standing still. Move in and out. And those 2 follow-up punches after the cross, put some snap on those to make sure that you're showing that you are a powerful fighter.
There you go. Control. Also, you notice that I'm only using 1/4 of the heavy bag. You don't need a ton of room. Now, where should you be hitting in terms of height? Take a headshot above your own chin. Okay? Every once in a while you want to do that in case you're fighting a taller opponent. So you want to train that. Good work. Set your timer for 30 seconds rest. Round number 3, you're going to work off the jab, the cross, the lead hook. Then I want you to defend. When you're defending, just do a couple options. Block up here, or think about blocking on the side, or take a very small step back to think about the punch stopping short of your face, okay? That's it. Up high, to the side, or a small step back. Small step back. Off the 1, 2, 3, and you can throw any 2 punches you want off that jab, cross, lead hook. Let's go. Get that defending. Jab, cross, lead hook, defend here, then throw something, or 1, 2, 3, throw something, then defend. You never know what scenario you're going to be in, so you have to visualize both. This is your opponent, so put different scenarios to the test. The reason why you don't want to step back too far, as an example, is when I'm throwing this 1, 2, 3, ba, 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 ba. If I step back too far, now I'm out of position. And then you'll throw a punch and you'll be like this. But if you step back just far enough, you'll be able to make contact, change angles here. So that's why it's important to throw those straight punches to work on range. Now that 3 to the body goes into the side of the heavy bag on a 45-degree angle. That's how you throw the hook to the body. So you can go jab to the head, cross to the head, bring this back, and a hook to the body. So as this right hand's coming back, twist your shoulder and your torso into that left hook to the body on a 45-degree angle. And then throw something after and defend. Or do a little bit of both. Small movements will get you there. Don't rush, you're good. You'll notice all the pros work the heavy bag with various speeds because again, they're thinking of scenarios, not just banging out the heavy bag. This is not hit. When you want more, you go for more. Only when you're comfortable. Set your timer for 30 seconds. Let's get into round number 4. Round number 4, once again, 2 minutes. You're gonna work 3 punch combinations. Now don't be afraid of this. Remember, you are now learning boxing at home. You wanna learn to fight. So you're working 3 punch combinations. What I suggest is you work straight punches first, then add in hooks and uppercuts as a part of that. So here's how it looks, let's go. Easy work, 3 punch combos. Working off those straight punches. Different levels, head, body. Different angles, over to the side, over to the side. If you're working different angles. 3 punch combination. Just like that. Okay? Now if you want to work inside, the front of your foot should be underneath the heavy bag, and then you just shorten up your punches, but make sure you're defending. And throw some hooks and uppercuts in here. Controlled. Notice I'm not hitting the heavy bag, especially for beginners. Scrape it to save those Nate Bar Fitness logos. Just scrape it. That was good right here. Now we're 3 punch combinations inside. Now to change your angle, you simply think about looking at a different part of the heavy bag as you're changing angles, working on the inside. The reason why you do that is that's going to prevent you from changing position looking at your feet. You don't want to change your angle inside looking at your feet because then you can't see what your opponent's doing. So make sure you're cutting in a laser beam around the heavy bag working on the inside while defending. And then if you want to step back to the outside, do that with the jab. Now put your punches together, 3 punch combos. There you go, champion. See your scenarios. What are you working on? Speed, power, your opponent coming in. If you're working on your opponent coming in, that means when the heavy bag comes in, you throw a combination. If you work on your opponent moving away from you, then when the heavy bag goes away from you, you step into it. Like that. Then you can work both. When it goes away from you, and when it comes into you. That's what you gotta do. Think about it. Easy work, but good work. 4 punches, why not? Straight punches if you're not confident yet. If you're confident, mix it up and then throw in some defense. And that's how you work. Round number 4, 30 seconds. Let's get into round number 5. Round number 5. Now remember, when I was learning boxing, I had an Olympic boxing coach who went to the Olympics, trained fighters in the Olympics. And one of the keys is learning to do punches in bunches. You hear all the time, punches and bunches. So you're learning something that's imperative for you to accelerate your game forward when you're doing a boxing workout at home. Again, if you're not a heavy bag, you would just work these in shadow boxing. How this works is a 2 punch combo, move, 3 punch combo, and then move, 4 punch combo. Okay? It's not about speed, it's about you continually thinking about the next combination coming after, the one you just threw, adding in defense and offense, of course. For my new people, straight punches, movement, defense. Get used to it first, figure out your range. Throw 4 first, go back to 3. Just like that. Any order you want. course, if you want to mix it up, any combos you want. Off the jab typically. Remember, work the jab as much as you can. Hands up though.
Have strong visualization as you're working through your 2, 3, and 4 punch combinations. Here, it's all about you putting to work combinations that make sense. In other words, throw some shots and then slip and think about counter punching. Make sure you're thinking about changing the angle if you're working an aggressive fighter coming towards you, and then counter with those 2, 3, and 4 punch combinations and punches and bunches. Have fun with it. Put your own flavor on it as you're working this segment.
Movement. Make defense, something's coming in, see your opponent, look right into his eyes. You were that dominant. And once you get tired, shake your arms out, start over. Great job. That's how you work your 5 rounds on the heavy bag. Now, once you're done the heavy bag work, to add this in, you've skipped, you've done shadow boxing, you warmed up, you want to finish building some capacity in your abs. You want your core to be shredded, but you also want the wall to be thick so you can absorb punches. So let's get down to the ground and do sets of 100 of 3 exercises. Number 1, 100 bicycles, 100. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, let's go. 2, 3, 4. Legs all the way out. Keep your shoulder blades off the ground. 20. 30. Keep going. 40. 50. 60. 70. Come on. 80. 90. 100. Rest 30 seconds. Get that timer going or just count down. Let's get into exercise number 2 of 3. All right, let's go. Exercise number 2. Legs are here. Make sure you can just barely touch your feet. Reach over. Think about touching your ankle bone. 100 reps. Ready? Let's go. 10. Flex. Come on, shoulder to the outside. 20. 30. Touch. 40. Tuck your chin down. Look between your knees. 50. Flex, you guys. 60. 70. Come on. 80. 90. 100. Bring it up. So my voice cracked a little bit. Again, when you're going through these, the best thing to do is as you're going through your reps is when you're boxing, that little contraction, it's a little bit annoying to do it on camera, but that contraction of you breathing through your teeth is gonna make your abs contract a little bit deeper, which simulates you contracting and flexing your abs as you're taking a shot. 1 exercise left. 3rd and final, scissor kicks, crossovers. Legs out straight, 100 reps. Ready? Let's go. 10, 20, 30, hold tight, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, it's hard. 90, 100. Whew. That is what I'm talking about, building capacity, learning to flex, 100 reps, 3 exercises. That's how you finish your daily boxing routine when you are trying to learn how to box at home. Top of this boxing training, add running 3 to 5 days a week and make sure one of those days is a hill routine. You want to build endurance and power in your running when you're training yourself for boxing at home, to learn how to fight. Honestly, the convenience of training at home cannot be underestimated. It's incredible. You save time and effort by eliminating the need to commute to a gym. Additionally, you have access to your training space 24/7. If you're looking for more detailed training programs, instructional videos, and personalized guidance, I invite you to explore my online programs and subscribe to the Nate Bauer Fitness YouTube channel. Join my community of passionate individuals dedicated to boxing and fitness.